Hello, everybody, and welcome to yet another episode of Witches and Wine. This is the show where we talk about witchy stuff and we drink wine. Clink and drink. And clink and drink over to our lovely guest.
I'm having a beer.
Mm, have a beer. Have a beer. Um, before we get to our amazing guest, I want to, well, I tell you all who I am. My name is Lady Lola Stardust. I am the High Priestess of Children of the Crossroads ATC in Spokane, Washington.
And I am Lord Silas Stardust, the High Priest of Children of the Crossroads ATC here in Spokane, Washington.
And before we get started, we have our little disclaimer. It has been brought to our attention that sometimes people don't like to learn about witchy things from witches who might be a little tipsy from drinking wine. And I know, who would ever do that? And we get that, even though wine is in the title of the show, but we get it. So you have the power to not see us anymore. All you got to do is click the X in the corner of your screen and we disappear. It's like magic.
It is magic.
Oh, look who came to join us. This is what happens live. We have animals that climb all over us. I mean, who knows? So before we get to our amazing guest, who is a repeat I was going to say repeat offender.
Well, I mean, to be on this show, sometimes we kind of have to be.
You have to be a repeat offender to be on this show. I'm going to turn this over to my husband, my high priest, my best friend, my partner in crime. Silenus, would you like to explain the wine? I forgot what I was introducing you for.
I'd be happy to. Tonight, we have chosen a King Maui Pinot Noir out of New Zealand. Very powerful, robust Pinot Noir for being so young. It's going to have a lot of cherry notes on it. It's got a little bit of blackberry, very, very dry. And the reason I chose this wine is, A, the story that comes with the winery. King Maui is a Maoran demigod, and he was a master fisherman, and they claim that he is the one that found the islands of New Zealand for them. So they made a winery honoring him. And just with the stories and the power that comes with it, I thought it would be an appropriate wine to serve with our guest tonight.
Oh, and what does it go good with?
Being a Pinot Noir, it goes good with everything.
Oh,
it's really, really nice. But this is definitely on the drier end for Pinot Noir.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a little bit darker in color, not as opaque as you're going to see in a lot of American Pinot Noirs. And that's just because of the terroir in New Zealand. It makes it so it just gets a fuller, darker grape when it comes to the Pinot.
Well, thank you, honey. All right. Well, I'm very excited about our guest. We've had him on before, and we just love his energy. He is just delightful and talented, and as we're finding out, he just multitasks and just goes out there and does it.
A very busy individual.
Welcome to the show, Lord Alexian. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Welcome back. It's been a few years, and thank you for being so flexible with the rescheduling. We have been hit really yucky over here with the flu, a flu that is like no other. It's just awful. So
yeah, we got flu, we got RSV going around here, whooping cough, all sorts of different wonderful things in our neck of the woods. So
yeah, it's awesome. But we're somewhat healthy. Well, you are. I've still got some congestion, and but I'll get through it. So I want to talk about what you have been up to, which you've been up to a lot of things. So let's start with your coven. You were telling us that your coven is just growing. And also, real quick, before we start talking about the growth of your coven, you were talking about the mead that your coven makes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, can you talk about that?
So we have social events in our coven every other month, normally. And it's for the entire family. It's not only for the covener, but it's also for their family and their children, etc. So we get together and we have family time together. It's a lot of fun. But one of the things that we do is we do brew our own mead for our sabbats. So this actually is a blackberry mead that we made back in November of 2018.
Wow.
And I don't think you can see the label too.
It's a little faded. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah,
we
right there.
affectionately call it purple bitch.
Love it.
And that was my husband that coined that phrase, purple bitch.
Bitch.
Purple bitch. So anyway, but this is one of the, oh my God, I love this blackberry mead.
Oh, wonderful.
You know, my second favorite is a blueberry mead that we made.
Oh, yummy.
Affectionately call it Smurf. True story. But we actually go out as a group. We pick the berries ourselves. We make arrangements to go to a farm and we pick the blackberries or we pick the blueberries. Then we bring them home and process them, and we make the mead from scratch on our stove there at the Covenstead, and then brew it up in the 5-gallon bucket with the percolator on top.
I love that. That is amazing. The names are great.
Yep.
Gotta have fun. Gotta have fun with it.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
So your coven is is it Twisted Oaks?
It is.
Okay, what your coven is called? Twisted Oak. Okay. And what's been going on? You said that it's been growing. There's a lot of new members.
Yeah. If anybody wants to read about us, we have a website. It's twistedoakcoven.com. That's twistedoakcoven.com. But yeah, we are a traditional Alexandrian coven with a direct line from England. And you actually were talking earlier about, witches that were tipsy. There are a lot of stories about Alexander's himself being tipsy at the pub. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So there are so many stories. So anywho.
Well, he's British. It's kind of, what
they
do.
It's a British thing, right?
It's a British thing.
Some people are just a little too pious.
Yeah, obviously we are not.
Yeah.
We have become known in our community as the fun coven that likes to drink.
Whenever we show up at events, people have a good time.
Yes, they do.
And if they don't want to, they don't want to be near us.
Yeah.
I have to admit, I buy a 6-pack and it lasts 6 months. So that's good. I am a non-drinker. This is like a special occasion for me. The most alcohol I drink is the mead at the Sabbats, and it's a couple sips. And it's not because I am against drinking. It's just
you're busy.
It doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah, it's not your thing.
I drink for the taste, and I am a lightweight. I am such a lightweight, and I think I probably said this on the last show because I say this every time. 1 drink, I'm happy. 2 drinks, I'm on the table. 3 drinks, lock up your husbands. And I'm not even joking. Lock them up, okay? Because the Aries comes out, okay? But in any event, unfortunately, I'm a lightweight, and on top of that, I like the flavors, but my flavor palette wants hard liquor. So spiced rum and whiskey, and even in a beer, this is a stout. I love the flavor of this. Other beers that are more clear.
Yeah.
Your lagers and your pilsners and all that, there's not a whole lot of flavor to them.
Mm-mm.
When you're doing beers, the darker or the more colorful typically have more flavor.
Well, it's like wine.
So to me, it's all about flavor and not about the buzz.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
we're that way too.
We're about the flavor. The buzz is just an extra bonus that we get.
So back to Coven.
Yes.
Alexandrian tradition. I founded the Coven in 1993 here in the Orlando, Florida area, and we've been operating ever since. So many people have come through our doors and been trained. Of course, not everybody makes it, but I'm very, very happy to report that we are still growing. And we had 2, not 1, but 2 first-degree initiations just this last month.
Wonderful.
And we just accepted the newest member to the Coven, a gentleman named Paulo, who is from Brazil. So,
nice.
So he's a really, really cool guy. Very, very smart.
Yeah.
So he's going to be a great addition to the group mind.
Yeah. And your coven is in person, right? You're an in
In
person.
person. Oh yeah, traditional.
Yeah.
In
Okay.
person.
Yeah. 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 It's really I love hearing. Do you have ebb and flows with your coven for being 32 years old?
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
you have you had it just be like lots of people, not a lot of people, lots of people, not a lot of
Yes.
people.
It's
Okay.
not. It's natural. Um, it is so natural for a coven to be organic, and it goes through its cycles just like anything that's alive.
Yeah.
It's a living entity, and my responsibility as high priest is to protect and cultivate the group mind or egregore,
Yeah.
and that's over individuals, right?
Hmm.
So even my husband, who's part of the coven, knows that.
Yeah.
So it's all about that group mind energy. So
Yeah.
it does, like this last year, 2024, we had a great loss of people, but it was all for good reasons, you
Yeah.
see. So we were basically at max 13, and we had three people leave together because they hived off and formed a daughter coven.
Yeah.
Right.
That's so fun.
So, you know, and then we had two members um, retire, and they moved to out of state to
Okay.
retire. So we lost five people in
Wow.
1 year. So that's why we reopened our doors,
Yeah.
and new people are applying and becoming part of our outer court and working their way in.
Yeah. We just went through a big change in our coven. We were not getting the again. We would have a large number, and then we got really really small. And I was feeling very overwhelmed because I just didn't have enough second or third degrees in my coven to take on some of the responsibility, and so I was burning out. I was like, oh my god. So we kind of took it. We're I guess you would call us on a hiatus, and but as soon as the weather gets better, we are going to do more public rituals. We're just going to do more, just kind of look at things a little differently, how we've been doing them, and just put ourselves out there more. And hopefully, maybe people will start to show interest. But that's not our. It's funny. It's like when they say when you're not looking, is when it happens. And
Oh,
yeah, and as soon as I changed our structure and our main goals, we started getting more people showing up to our online things. We run a lot of online things. We started getting so many people, like almost like the day after I made an announcement to our coven that hey, we're gonna take a little break. We're gonna focus on the online classes and rituals that we offer, and then as soon as the weather gets better, we'll make ourselves more known in the public and blah blah blah. I'm not kidding you. All of a sudden, all these people started coming to our online stuff and our public stuff. We do Witches Night Out. We've had a full, 14, 15 people show up to see what we're about. I'm like, well, geez, like, where were all of you guys before?
yeah.
Yeah, it does that. Um, so Coven is growing. You've got all these wonderful new people coming into your Coven.
We are blessed.
That's a lot. That's Coven work is very busy. It takes up a lot of time. Do you guys? Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. You go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you guys do your SBITs, and so that's twice a month? And
Oh, yeah. No, we have a very. We warn people when they apply that first of all, your life is going to change in ways that you cannot now foresee, and it always happens. The energies manifest and things change, which is normal. But we also warn them you could be here 6 times a month, and that's because new moon and full moon aspects. If it happens a Sabbat the same month, there's a Sabbat, right? You have 2 classes per month. Every other week is class. and we have socials every other month. So there could be a month where they have 6 things on the calendar. There's only 4 weeks in the month, but there's 6 things to do. So, there have been times when coveners who live a little further away they'll just spend the night, because we got something else the very next day, It just makes sense, So we're very, very active.
I love that. That's kind of what's kind of been happening a little bit with us with when we were doing the online classes and the in-person SBITs and then
if we have a Sabbath in there.
that's what was happening with us too. It can take up a lot of a person's time and energy.
Yes.
Go ahead.
There's a little bit of a delay, so I apologize for talking.
No, please go.
There in the beginning, I founded the coven, so it was just me. I mean, everything was just me. And then I finally trained a priestess up, right? And so we had a co-leader, and then eventually we got a maiden and a robin, and they're kind of like second in command. And then we have, little ones coming up, and now they're elders, right? So the coven has blossomed now.
Yeah.
And I can honestly say, I don't have to do anything. I can literally sit back, and there are those moments when I just sit back and everybody's doing all of the jobs, everybody's doing everything they need to do, and I just have this overwhelming feeling come over me of family and passing it on, to others. They get it and they are on it. They don't need me anymore, So it's a blessing.
It is. It's watching your children grow up. Yeah. And then when they go and hive, or we've had ones that decide, this isn't what I'm looking for. I'm gonna go. It's very never take it personally. But I also know that especially if you've grown with this person and formed such a close magical relationship, and things happen. It's just what happens, and I'm learning to not take it personally. I have a Pisces moon, so I am always look at that face.
Right there. Yes. Right there.
All the time. So that's why I like talking about it with other people who've been doing this longer is it just validates that it happens.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I have had so many things happen in the coven, both good and bad. Mm-hmm. Don't think it's all peaches and roses.
No.
When you deal with people and trying to instill the light into them, it illuminates all the demons and the shadows, right? And we call it shadow work, and that usually hits around 2nd degree work.
Yep.
And people sometimes do not handle that really well.
No,
I've had people blow up in a temper tantrum and storm out of this house. Only to come back later, to apologize,
Ours haven't come back later. It's kind of the curse of when you're working with the community or you're working with people as a leader. You do take the chance that you are going to wear the target on your back, and you just kind of got to get a tough skin. We've had it just happen in our online community where somebody was very upset and I have to keep very neutral and try to find out what's wrong and but sometimes it's just, nope, they're done. They don't want to talk to me. And again, I'm like, I can't take it personally. A lot of the times people are going through shadow work. They're going through their own thing. And it's really tough. There's not a lot of accolades. You don't get a lot of, like, when things go great, it's the whole coven. When things go bad, it's, that high priestess,
It's in the job description.
Yeah.
You have to be able to channel that negativity and ground it out, because you can't take it personally, It's not really them talking, it's their baggage talking,
Exactly.
And I have an interesting story. We have a drawn out filtering process for people to gain access to the coven and become a student and start studying. And it's served us very well. And the first step is to meet me in a public place. I used to do it at a local metaphysical store, but I started doing it at a restaurant. And that way, if they don't show up, because a third of the people don't, they just don't show up, I just have lunch and then go home, instead of waiting around and not doing anything. I just have lunch. So I have lunches now. So anywho, a long time ago, this is a long time ago, a gentleman came to me and we met at a metaphysical store. And I sensed there was something off. And it didn't take long. It was like 5 minutes into the conversation, maybe 10. Yeah. And I'm like, one of my questions I ask is, why are you here? Why are you here? And I am not exaggerating when I tell you that this gentleman leaned into my face with big eyes and said, I need the power.
Oh.
I know you have it.
Oh, gosh.
And I'm like, okay.
I'm good.
And I said, well, you're not going to get it from me. And he was like, what? And I go, no, seriously, dude, like, no, you're not ready. You're not ready for it. Boom! He exploded right there in the middle of the metaphysical store, screamed and hollered at me and stormed out. This is a true story. Wow. Okay. But it has a beautiful ending. Fast forward 5-6 years later, it was quite a while.
Yeah.
I teach music lessons and I used to teach them in person. And I was at a local music theater convention here in Orlando, and I had a booth for my music lessons. And this very well dressed guy came up to me and was like, well, hello, Alexian. And I'm like, I'm not there under that name. I'm there under my mundane name. Yeah. And I was like, oh, somebody from the pagan community. And he goes, you don't remember me, do you? And I go, no. Did I direct you in a musical? I had no idea.
I'm trying to connect the dots.
And he goes, he got closer to me and he goes, I was the guy that you denied access to the coven because you said that I wasn't ready for it. Yeah. And I went, holy crap, dude. Yeah. You look amazing. So then he told me. He said that he was dealing with substance abuse. Mm-hmm. And he went home and he told his husband, apparently he was gay. I didn't even know that part. Yeah. That he was denied entrance to the Wiccan coven. And his husband, I guess, jokingly said, oh, the Satanists won't even take you, Oh, God. And he said that was the trigger. He said, I want to thank you for telling me no, because it's exactly what I needed to hear. Yep. It was the trigger that made me get into, a recovery group and get off drugs and alcohol. And he cleaned his life up and he looked like a completely different person. Like I didn't even recognize him. Wow. Story. So sometimes the filtering process is there for a reason. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Not just to keep people that aren't ready out, but to maybe have them look in the mirror a little bit and reassess their own life. Yeah. And make some changes. Yeah. We never know what kind of effect we will have on people if we're not there witnessing it. So I believe very strongly in kind words to strangers, like just saying, I love your dress. Oh, well, you look nice today. Oh my God, those shoes are great. Because you just never know what that's going to do to them. You don't know where they're at in their head. And that might just be the words that make them not go home and getting depressed, because that you might give them like, okay, there are nice people in this world. It's very important to remember that we can do that. What was that? Because I open doors for people all the time. I let people pull out in front of me all the time when I'm driving. I don't know what their day is like. So I am not a me first type of guy. Yeah, right? Me neither. I opened the door for somebody once at the grocery store, and they gave me this card. I saw
you.
kind to someone. Thank you. The world needs more people who are willing to look out for them. Please pass this card on. So I have the original card, and I have other ones I've made myself.
Yeah.
They're in my wallet.
Yeah.
And the moment I see somebody, I am ready to give them this card. I think that is the most beautiful thing ever.
Awesome.
Oh gosh, that I love that, because I truly do believe that a kind word or a kind action can go a long way. And to me, that's part of what we do as witches. You know, we believe very strongly our words have power, our energy has power, our actions have power and magic. And even if it's just just a small change, right? Just a small little thing that just you never know what that's going to do. A smile. Yeah.
Smile.
Yep, absolutely. I love that. I want to talk about your Chant of the Month Club.
Sure.
Yeah, what is this?
Okay, so how do I make this concise? 30 years of practicing. Well, more than that. 30. What is it? 93. Today's 25. So we're at 30, going on 32 years of coven. But of course, I was into Wicca before that.
Yeah.
I wrote a lot of chants for rituals. I've written a lot of chants for rituals. I've written a lot of chants just in general for magical use and worship use, etc. And I decided that I'm going to record them and release them. So what I did is I started an exclusive Chant of the Month Club. So you actually have to subscribe.
Yeah.
But it's a bone-breaking $1.29 a month.
Ooh.
So for $1.29 a month, you get an original. This is not re-recorded old stuff. This is an original chant by myself, highly produced in the studio. Okay. Like a full song release type of thing.
Yeah.
And it's delivered via email once a month to your inbox. It's pretty much, that's as simple as it gets.
Yeah.
And if anybody listening is interested, you can subscribe to at alexianmusic.com/chant. alexianmusic.com/chant. You want to make sure it comes up for me?
Yeah, alexianmusic.com. Now I don't have the chant, but can you just go to your alexianmusic.com and then, find it on there?
And then just put chant.
Just put chant after that. Yeah.
/chant. Yes, it does work. I just double checked it.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
alexianmusic.com/chant.
Awesome.
And it'll go right to the landing page and you can read all about it. So far I started in November. And let's see, the first chant I wanted to do in November was Thank You, Demeter, but it's in Greek. So it's Epharisto Demetra. And it's in 3-part harmony. And it's 10 minutes long because it is a worship song. So it's meant to be meditative. And what you do is you're thanking Demeter for the harvest. So I thought November, Thanksgiving is a perfect time to release that chant. Yeah. So that's November's chant. December, I decided to do some magic. So I actually took the old knot spell. You know the one, right?
The what spell?
Knot.
Like a knot? Like a
knot?
Yeah.
K-N-O-T knot?
Yeah.
Are you familiar with that old spell?
I've heard of it, but you might want to refresh my mind.
It starts with by knot of one, the spell's begun.
Yes.
Yeah, it's old. It's very old. So I set it to music. So it's now a chant. And I have a volunteer group called Spectral, and they sign up to volunteer their voices and or dancing in music videos, but they can just sing or chant if they want. And I guess I should say, if anybody's interested in Spectral, it's alexianmusic.com/spectral. SPECTRAL, Spectral. And they are like background singers for me on my actual recordings that I release to the world. So you'll hear yourself in my recording. So, anywho, they chanted, this was a spoken chant, and they chanted on the knot spell.
Oh, wonderful.
And then also, did they chant on the knot spell? Am I getting this wrong?
You did say you had memory issues sometimes, so.
My memory sucks. I write everything down, but it sucks. Okay. So anyway, they chanted on several of my chants. And then in January, I did another. I'm just not going to go into it, but I did another chant. And the one I just finished mastering today is for this month, February. And I'm blanking out. And I just mastered it. My God, my memory. Oh, it's the, I have it right here in front of me. It's the, so I wrote a chant in my coven to do scrying.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But the chant is a formulary that I wrote to make a tincture out of specific herbs that are for divinatory scrying trance work.
Ooh.
So while you're chanting the chant, you're making the tincture. And there's actually time in there for you to put the ingredients in and everything. It guides you through the whole recipe. Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
And then it's a tincture, so it's made of alcohol, and you make it in a little cauldron. And at the height apex of the song, right? The line is set it aflame, abide by the law. And and the flames come up because it's alcohol and infused with all those essential herb oils from the mixture. The chant is called 13 Visions. It has 13 herbs in it, and you stir it 13 times too.
Oh, I love that.
And then you set it on fire. And then the moment you set it on fire, the chant, the song, goes into this very powerful meditation music that lasts another 6 minutes.
Oh, wonderful.
Nice.
So it's 4 minutes of chant to make the thing and 6 minutes of scrying, 10 minutes total. And I'll be releasing that this weekend. So if you're not on my Chant of the Month club yet and you want that song, you need to sign up tonight. Again, alexianmusic.com/chant.
Yeah. Is it now, can you, like, so if you sign up, it's going to automatically be $1.29 every month that comes out? Okay, so it's not a la carte where you can do, okay, all right. Yeah.
Now,
So here's how it's going to work. It's $1.29 a month subscription. You can cancel anytime. There are no contracts. And after I have 5, and this month's is number 4, I will be releasing in a group of 5 that you can purchase on my website.
Oh, okay.
For $2 each, so $10.
Okay.
So it's cheaper
to do
the subscription.
Yeah.
Now, are you able to retroactively go get the previous month's songs, or is it only
in the group?
In that group, okay.
In that group that is for sale on the website, but not through the subscription. The subscription is from the moment you join forward.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
That's really cool. What made you, I know you like to write chants, and I know you write songs, you write chants. It's like trying to pick your favorite child, right? But which ones do you enjoy? And you don't have to pick one, but what do you get from each one when you write a song, when you write a chant? Are chants more magical to you?
Okay, so first of all, I'm a musician.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sound is spirit. Let's think about it real quick. Touch is earth. The sense of touch is earth.
Yeah.
The sense of smell is air.
Yeah.
The sense of sight is fire. The sense of taste is water. Spirit is hearing. Okay?
Yeah.
Sound is vibration, and vibration is all.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to get into quantum physics if you don't stop me, but I read about it.
We've got lots of wine.
Yeah, lots of wine. So, yeah, sound is spirit. So, music to me is spirit. Music to me is magic. And anytime you vibrate, you're sending out a signal, you're sending out an energy into the world. Your words, your thoughts, your words, if you sing it and chant it, you're putting energy out into the world. And even science teaches us energy cannot be destroyed. It can only change form.
Yeah.
Right? Hello, magic, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, everything is energy. So your voice is a instrument of spirit.
Yeah.
Right? And a very strong tool for manifestation. I am writing a book. I wasn't going to bring it up.
You did say, you go, let's not bring it up. I'm like, okay.
It's about that. It's about it's about your voice. So,
I love that.
Anywho, music is magic. So can I choose between songs and chants? Not really.
I didn't think you would be able to.
Have different purposes for different situations, right?
Yeah.
So it depends on the circumstance.
Yeah. Yeah. What you're in the mood for, because I know chanting is so powerful, and it just, you use it to raise energy. You use it to worship your deities or whatever. And, but I also love just music. I don't write music. I don't make music, but I'm a music lover. And I know that just even playing other people's music, that's my magic.
Oh, absolutely.
That's what inspires me to do more of my witchy things and more of my craft, because it just opens something up in me where it's like, it's communicating to me in a way that I'm programmed to understand.
Yeah, people don't realize how much music can affect your psyche and your emotions and your body.
Yeah.
There's a whole field of healing called music therapy. And I've been wanting to go back to school and get my master's in it. Not because I want to become a music therapist, but just to have the knowledge,
Oh, yeah.
Especially as a priest, But, even in my TikTok, I encourage people to stand up and dance. I have a silly TikTok I made that is like, I want you to feel the rhythm in the music, forget about the words, just feel the beat, feel the music.
Yeah.
Up and move your body, move your hands, move your arms, move your shoulders, move your torso, move your butt, move that butt. I'm like,
kick that ass.
So it really is a healing thing when you entrain with music and the beat, and your body starts moving to it. Even if you're just in a chair swaying, it has the same effect, for those that can't dance. You're just moving your torso, moving your arms, moving your head.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times when I trance out in ritual, you'll see me, doing this.
Oh yeah.
I'm like swaying back and forth, forwards and backwards, but it's that lullaby of the body, that rhythm of back and forth, that helps trance me. Yeah.
There's go ahead.
I say that affects me when I'm invoked. I rock a lot of times when I'm invoked.
Yeah, I've noticed in our circle when we invoke the gods, we do this. Do you?
I do left to right.
Yeah, I do too. I sway this way.
But yeah, but I won't do it. But when I'm invoked like that,
our bodies just move, and
holding all that energy. Can't contain myself, so I need to let it move. For you do it through music.
Yeah.
And the sway, because you're feeling that the energy, the beat, the connection.
Yeah.
And then I guess on a life level, to answer the question, I just have this instilled necessity to share my soul with the world.
Yeah.
And it's the way that I express myself is through music, And there's so much good in people, even your enemy. There's so much good in them.
Yeah.
And I choose not to engage. When people try to, there are people, they throw darts and they poke at you and they try to stir up the shit. I just ignore them because it's not worth my
You're
energy.
like, you just deflect it like Wonder Woman with her gold bracelets.
Yeah,
You're just
I was a little gay boy raised in southern Missouri in the Ozarks. I learned to deflect really good.
yeah. Well, and it's I love that everyone has their connection, whatever it is, whether it's music or invocation or spell work, or it's like you're taking a different avenue to get to kind of the same spot that we are all trying to get to. As I always say as witches, because I mean, the majority of the people that watch this show are going to be pagans or witches or whatnot. But as just human beings,
Yeah.
we all need something, that a common goal. And I think that finding what brings us together, and you're such a positive person. Like, I really appreciate your energy. I can't see you getting into and that kind of brings us to something I wanted to talk about. Social media. You have a social media presence, and boy, it's been really difficult lately to not get sucked into the world, what's going on in our country and whatnot. I think, and maybe I'm wrong, but you probably don't even look at that stuff, or you just like, I can't, or
I stay informed.
Yeah.
Because knowledge is power.
Yep.
I don't engage in the bitch sessions. Okay.
Yeah.
I vote. I do what I can on my own terms. I talk to people.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
Not argue.
You talk.
There's a difference.
Oh, yeah.
Talking is a two-way street. Arguing is two closed minds bumping heads together that will never learn from each other ever, right? But talking is a conversation. It's a give and take. You need to understand where they're coming from as much as they need to understand where you're coming from. And when we focus, I love this saying, when you focus on the things that we have in common, we foster love. When we focus on our differences, we foster hate.
Yeah.
And hate is a child of fear. Right?
Yeah, it is.
Love versus fear, everything. Anything and everything. The next time you have a problem, you're contemplating something, you're worried about something, think about it. Are you coming from a place of love, or are you coming from a place of fear? Which one is love? Which one is fear?
Yeah.
Ignore the fear.
Ignore the fear. I love that.
Makes sense.
So social media, we were talking about how you are your TikTok, your YouTube. Tell us, you got how many followers now on your YouTube channel?
I think the last time I looked, it was over 84,000.
Oh, that's
TikTok. It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's nuts. And I think that you kind of already hit the nail on why.
Yeah.
And that is, my channel stays away from sadness, darkness, and bitchiness.
Yeah.
I try to uplift people and inspire people. So I'm always educating and teaching and trying to make a joke here or there as well.
Absolutely.
I had this one video, somebody, said witches aren't real. And there's this audio of, he's a black actor, does an old granny woman.
Tyler Perry.
Tyler Perry. There's a audio of Tyler Perry, and he's like, they don't see us.
Yeah.
Witches aren't real. They don't see us.
They don't see us.
And I look off and I'm like, do you see me? Like I'm invisible, right?
Yeah.
And people just laughed their butts off, I guess, and it went viral. And I've had hundreds and hundreds of people duet me, because it's a split screen, so it's me on one side and them on the other side. people are having so much fun with that,
Yeah, I
Um,
love that.
but that's my channel. That's my social media. I like to keep it upbeat and lighthearted and find the love, find the fun, find the smiles.
Find
Yeah.
this one. I mean, that's what we do here on Witches in the Wine. We just like to have fun and find out about people and have good conversation. And, we got to show people that I just think you can, what's the word? You attract.
Well, the idea of magnetism, you attract positivity, you attract negativity. Which one are you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you have a choice, you see.
Yeah.
You have a choice. In everything you do, you have a choice.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's free will. I mean, we have free will, people,
Well, that's the scientific fact of physics. When they're out there, the physics, neutrons also pull each other, the electrons all pull each other.
Yeah.
So if you're positive, you go this way. If you're negative, you go this way. It's literal science that we can prove these points.
There is and you can Google this, anybody that's watching, there is a chart. It's called the emotional spiral. Excuse me, that was the beer.
Live.
The emotional spiral. And it spirals from the center up, and it spirals from the center down, out. So it's like an hourglass shape, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The emotions that are low are based on fear, which is at the very bottom, and the emotions of love are at the top. And if you're feeling something, it's a very handy tool. They should teach us this stuff in elementary school.
I know.
Little kids, look at the chart. Where are you on the spiral? Well, let's try to get you to the next step higher. What can we do to get to the next step until you're all the way at the top, and just having a wonderful, fabulous day. Right?
I like to think of like the Inuits, how they have like 17 plus words to express love, but they have no word to express hate.
Yeah.
That's got to tell you everything right there.
Yeah.
With it, they have multiple different ways that they can express the things that bring them joy, but they have no expressions for things that don't bring them joy, because why waste your energy?
Yeah. And happiness and love do not come from money and success. They can taint it a bit, but it is not going to make you happy. What matters is inside. That's why we love and thou who thinkest to seek for me, know thy seeking and yearning shall avail thee not, unless thou knowest the mystery. That if that which thou seekest thou not find it within thee,
thou shalt never find it
without thee.
Yep.
Behold, she has been with thee from the beginning, and she is that which is attained in the desire. My favorite quote from the VOS.
We do a daily devotional on our Discord channel, Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we do the Charge of the Goddess or the Charge of the God, and we just create that what we call like where we have welcomed the gods to our soft circle online. And then within that circle, whoever attends online will state their intents and gratitudes for the day. And then we raise all the energy that they have said to send it to the gods, and we do the witch's rune. And so the Charge of the Goddess is a huge part of our practice. We do it every day. We believe very strongly in those words. You can always find something in the charge that relates to something going on.
Well, and every day it's something different that stands out. You can be hearing the exact same verse in the exact same tone, said by the exact same priestess, and all of a sudden this section doesn't mean anything, but this over here, this stands out. It's like, oh my God, it is speaking to me right now. This is what I needed to hear. Get going, even though you've heard it 1,000, 10,000 times.
Ritual in general, like something pops out different every time, no matter how many times you've done it. It's amazing.
Well, we could go on about positivity and happiness, but I want to get to some other stuff. You've got merchandise.
Yes.
You're wearing it.
I am wearing my Cool to Be a Witch t-shirt as we speak. Of course, from my hit song, Cool to Be a Witch.
Yeah.
This merch, and in fact, I just checked, and it's actually on sale. So my merch is on TeePublic, TeePulic, teepublic.com, And this t-shirt's there too. I think normally they're TeePublic has one price. Like you don't set your prices as a designer. They set the prices, right?
Oh,
so it is what it is.
Yeah,
and I kind of like that because then everybody's on the same playing ground, right?
Yeah.
I think that the t-shirts were $23, but they're on sale right now for the next day, like tonight, for like $17. So that's a good deal. That's a really good deal. And they go all the way up at
that, right?
5X. I'm sorry?
You designed that?
Yes. Yeah, I used your design. I put it together, but I designed it. Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't draw this. Don't get me wrong. I didn't draw.
But still, it's designing. It's still designing.
Yeah. Graphic arts, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made it this indigo purpley color so that it would pop off the black.
Yeah. Well, and purple's such a great color for witch work anyways.
Oh, yeah. I love it. It reminds me.
I have a whole line of merchandise. We were joking earlier because before we went live, she found out how busy I am. And I said, my boss is a bitch. And they got kind of quiet. And Lola was like, lose your boss. And I said, I'm self-employed.
Yep.
And that is a joke that I have told because I've always been self-employed. Like since I graduated from college, I had 3 jobs when I first moved to Florida. Didn't last but a couple of months. And I said, screw this. And I quit all of them. And I started teaching music lessons, making twice as much as I was making doing that.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm a music graduate. Like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Again, I lost my train of thought. What was I saying?
Well, you were talking about your merch and how it's brought forth, and then the different opportunities that come with it, and then you were talking about how you now teach classes online.
My boss is a bitch. Yeah, my boss is a bitch. That's what it was.
Yes, my boss is a bitch.
I always say that, so I made a t-shirt out of it.
I love it. I love that. I know when you said that my boss is a bitch, I'm going, well, I hope your boss isn't going to watch this tonight.
And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm pretty sure he's his own boss. So why are you saying this?
It's true, though. I overbook myself so much. I'm starting to use artificial intelligence as my secretary to book myself.
Yeah.
And it's working so much better.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to know about that, email me, LordAlexian@gmail.com.
Yeah. So this is what this guy does here, okay? He's in a coven that is growing, and
he runs a coven.
Yeah. He writes music. He is now he teaches music classes online. And you've been doing that for how long?
Well, truth be told, I started teaching music lessons when I was in middle school. Wow. Like beginning, like maybe a freshman of high school. I just imagine this little gay farm boy teaching piano lessons to adults.
Yeah.
That was me. Then I went to college for music. And then as soon as I came to Florida, I got 1 job, 2 job, 3 job. And then I said, what the hell am I doing? I stopped doing that. And I started teaching music. Been doing it ever since. That was 1990.
Oh, geez. Wow. 35 years now. Congratulations.
Wow. That's the year I graduated high school, if that makes you feel old.
Everything makes me feel old these days.
I wasn't even in junior high yet. I'll make you feel really old.
Thank you for that.
I'm here for you.
Yeah. I'm 7 years older than him. We've been together for 20 years. He's always making me feel old because I am older than him. So
Yeah. Yeah, I've been teaching forever. And then I went exclusively online January of 2010. And I never looked back. And I've been teaching ever since.
We have one of our viewers asking how they can buy one of your shirts, and they can't find you on TeePublic. So what do they look up?
The easiest way to find the link is just to go to alexianmusic.com, my website, and then click on store.
Yeah.
And then after you click on store, scroll down halfway and you'll see t-shirts.
Okay.
The one of them is TeePublic and one of them is Teespring. It's TeePublic that has the sale going on right now. I think that's for all t-shirts, not just mine. It's like
well, regardless, still
on sale. Yeah.
Nice.
So, thank you for asking, Todd.
Yeah, awesome. We know Todd.
Cool.
He's a friend of ours. So yeah, you said, because I was like, hey, are you doing any festivals? And you're like, nope. Do you have any appearances? Nope. And you said you're in creation mode. What is that? What is creation mode mean?
So, in the beginning was the Word.
And Lord Alexian said, "Let there be music."
And the Lord said, Lord Alexian said, let there be
music. Yes.
What's the light? I just want to hear it.
I think that all artists, whether it be visual arts or music or what have you, have this same experience. They have a time in their life when they're performing, they're showing, they're in galleries with their paintings, they're at festivals if you're a pagan artist, blah 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 blah. And then there are times where you kind of become recluse. Yeah. And you go through the phase where you're writing and recording and producing and blah, 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 blah. And then you eventually come back out and go, boom, and there's all this new material, right? Yeah. I'm in that cocoony writing, recording phase right now.
Hibernating, kind of like, gestating.
I'm loving it. I even bought myself a fancy beach cart. That's beach, not bitch. Fancy beach cart. It was like, I don't know, I think it was like $600 or something, but it's made of aluminum and canvas and it will not rust, and it has balloon tires. But then I caught it on sale on the Black Friday and they had it for $300 or something, like half price, right? Yeah. So I'm like, well, yeah. Yeah. So I did that and I bought it and I got it and it's amazing. And then one of the pieces wouldn't work. So I contacted the guy, and he's a really cool guy. The owner contacted me and he goes, well, that's just not right. That's just not right. But I'm going to tell you how to fix it. And he did. And I fixed it and it works. Yeah. But he refunded me $50. So I got that cart for like $250.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So I'm going, of course, the moment I bought it was like Black Friday, and then it got like deathly cold here in Florida, like down in the 30s at night. So my plan is to go to the beach at least once or twice a month, sit on the beach with my iPad and write.
Oh.
So just to give you a perspective, Alexian, we had 4 inches of snow yesterday here.
Well, I'm spoiled. I like it cooler. My husband's Puerto Rican. He does not take the cold. I mean, he's like a blanket at 72 going, and I'm like naked, spread eagle on the couch,
Yeah.
So, I'm a Floridian now. What can I say?
Yeah.
So creation mode. You are taking advantage of it. You love it. What do we got?
So we got that creation mode. We were talking beforehand, and you had mentioned something that is a life project for you. And you have 2 versions, one pagan and one not pagan.
Oh, the musical.
Yes.
What are you doing with these?
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing that up. So I am a music teacher. Let me tell you what I teach. I teach piano. I teach you to read music, play piano. I teach voice lessons. I teach songwriting, lyric writing. I actually have a degree from Berklee College of Music in all of these things, like songwriting. I was a vocal major at Berklee. Went for 6 years because I triple majored. And I studied music education, songwriting, composition, and music synthesis, which is the synthesizers and computers and home recording technology. So I teach that too. But I had been gearing up to make pre-recorded courses that are self-guided. And I have started working on those now too. So there will be a mundane version, and there will also be a pagan version. And just to give you an example, the first course is a mini course, and it teaches you how to read music, and it's called So Note It Be.
I love that.
And I can't take credit for that name. It was actually a friend of mine in World of Warcraft from my guild, who is also pagan, who came up with that name, and I had like a little brainstorming thing on Facebook, and she follows me on Facebook, and she entered her suggestion, and
Ding,
she
ding, ding. Got a winner.
won. So she got a free membership to the course as soon as I open it.
Oh, I love that.
That's
I
very
love
cool.
that. And you've got a couple. You're working on some singles that you were going to have come out in March. Is that correct?
Yes. There's. I'm working on many singles, but there's many songs I've been singing at gatherings and festivals throughout the years that I've never recorded.
Yeah.
And so I'm finally getting time in my life to really double down on the creation stuff, and that's one of the reasons I'm, cocooning and going into that creation phase. And the song that's coming out in March is called "There Is a Name." There's a name of the goddess is what basically it's referring to.
Yeah.
There is a name of a maiden young and fair. She dances in the flowers, breasts of mountains, wheat for hair. She rises in the evening, a sliver of waxing light, guiding ever onward, seekers to the right. That's the first verse. So there's a maiden, mother, and a crone.
Yeah.
And then it explodes into "There Is a Name." The whole time this is happening, remember that spectral group I mentioned earlier?
Yes.
They're already recording their chants and sending them to me.
Oh, very cool.
Goddess chant underneath it: Isis, Astarte, Diana, Hecate, Demeter.
Oh, I love that.
But in 3/4 time. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Oh.
Astarte, Diana, Hecate, Demeter, Kali, and Nana.
Yeah.
Isis, Astarte. Okay.
I love that.
It puts you in that trance state.
Yeah. I love that. That's one of my favorite chants. I love that one.
There Is a Name. That's coming out in March, and that will be a single. It'll be for sale on the website. It'll also eventually start streaming, etc. The Chant of the Month Club will never stream. None of those songs will ever stream. At least that's the plan right now.
Yeah. That's amazing. Oh my gosh, we could talk. And for those who are like, oh, why isn't Alexian singing on this episode? Well, we had a miscommunication. Okay, so we have scheduled this lovely man several times. He has been so patient. We just, I looked at our communications on the messenger and our emails. There is so much because we're like, here's this link. Here's this date. Oops, got to cancel. Here's the new date. Got to cancel. And it's just, so somewhere in our communication, it got lost, but you can also, we do have an episode that he did perform music on. So if you want to hear his music on our show,
watch our previous Lord Alexian.
Watch our previous Lord Alexian episode.
It was about 2.5 years ago, I think. Now.
Yeah, it was a few years ago. I think it was right before you guys did Summer Magic.
Summer Magic Fest. Yeah, that happened a couple of years ago.
Yeah. So, oh my God, Alexian, thank you so much. You're so fun.
Yep.
You're like someone that I just want to hang out with in person and just
do that sometime.
Yeah, and listen to music and talk about music and.
Well, I don't know what's more likely, us make it down to Florida or you make it up here to Washington State. So.
Well, Belladonna at ATC, she's been threatening to fly my butt up there.
Well, if you do come up, get in contact with us because we will drive over. That is our mother church, and we will go visit you at the mother church.
Yeah. We're like a 4 or 5 hour drive from the mother church. We love going up there.
I would do a tour of the West Coast, all the way from California all the way north someday.
Yeah. That would be so great. It would be so great. So we got it. We're going to do our little spiel here. We are a nonprofit, Children of the Crossroads. We do a lot of community events,
daily services.
So if you'd like to donate to our coven, it is not required, but it is definitely appreciated. We have a Venmo and it's pretty easy. It's Venmo me or Venmo.com / COTCATC. That's Children of the Crossroads ATC. And the PayPal is pretty much the same.
Remarkably similar, but PayPal is beginning.
PayPal me, COTCATC. And if you are ever interested in being a guest, or you have a wine suggestion, or you have just any questions about our coven, you can email us at
crossroadscoven@gmail.com.
I'm sorry, what was that?
That's crossroadscoven@gmail.com.
Thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you, Lord Alexian. You are so fun. We absolutely love you. Would love you to come back, and maybe we can get some music out of you.
Yeah, I will sing for you.
That's our agreement, y'all, on camera.
On camera. Witness. Witness. So, everyone, remember, in this time of turmoil, be kind to one another and always walk with the goddess. And until next time, blessed be.
And clink and drink.
And clink and drink. Bye, everybody.
Bye, all.
And clink and drink and